First, we lead on an exclusive story from Channel 4 News. China's leaders have not been welcome in the West since the massacre in Tiananmen Square 8 years ago. But today, the Chinese President Jiang Zemin arrived in the United States to meet his American counterpart Bill Clinton for the first time. The relations between the two countries have been bedeviled by China's poor record on human rights. Now, this program has obtained exclusive evidence of what Beijing itself calls a pitiless crackdown on a nascent independence movement in the province of Xinjiang. The home of the Muslim Uighur people, the area was briefly known after the war as the Republic of East Turkestan. But in 1949, Chairman Mao absorbed it into the province of Xinjiang. In recent years, the Uighurs have been the victims of discrimination, and any protest has been swiftly crushed. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Gabby Rado has a special report on the situation there. Viewers are warned that some of the images and scenes in his report are disturbing.
In Chinese, Xinjiang means new frontier. But for many, this is eastern Turkestan, one of the ancient lands of the Silk Road. Though Beijing has long claimed its many ethnic groups live together in harmony, the largest of the Muslim people in the province, the Uighurs, are now asserting their identity and challenging the Chinese government. Much of this film was shot secretly, because in Xinjiang, just talking to foreign journalists has been punished with arrest and long imprisonment. Even exiles are reluctant to reveal their identities for fear of reprisals against their families.
Qashqadarda vaziyat kun-kun ig'ilishib o'tadi. Uning ustiga Qashqarning o'zida qiz o'g'il yoshlarning turmush yetish avval naytiga. Odatda bular erkin fikr berish o'yanda emas, 4 odam bir joyga o'tirib parangish avval qilmaydi. Bundaroq yurak yo'q. Bundaroq yurak yo'q.
Faqat vatanning qutilishi ham bizning musulmon bo'lganligi g'oyamiz. Shu musulmonchilik dinning yo'li bilan vatanni qutqarish degan g'oyamiz.
In February this year, many hundreds of demonstrators took to the streets of Gulja in the northwest of Xinjiang. Word had spread among them that 30 Uighurs accused of agitation against the government had been executed. Thousands of troops were rushed in to crush the demonstration, which took place over 2 days. Exiles claim soldiers shot dead unarmed protesters. The official death toll was 9. Dissident sources put it at over 100. These Chinese TV pictures smuggled out of the country are the first visual evidence of what may have been a massacre. It was barely reported at the time. The root causes behind the unrest lie to an extent in the land itself. The region's mineral wealth is vast, with the forbidding Taklamakan desert containing perhaps the largest remaining oil reserves in the world. This, together with an abundance of coal, uranium and gold, is needed to fuel China's economic boom.
Çin hükümeti Doğu Türkistan'da çıkan zenginliklerinin %95'ini, 96'ını götürüyor.
The Uighurs also fear being outnumbered in their own homeland. Everyday trainloads of Han Chinese from the east are disgorged at the railway station of the regional capital, Urumqi. Beijing's policy of mass immigration has led to 6 million Han Chinese settling in Xinjiang since 1950, when only 5% of the population was Chinese. Their numbers are now almost level with the Uighurs, and there have been reports of a plan to bring in another 5 million migrants by the year 2000. While the Chinese secure jobs in the new industries, the native peoples claim they're largely excluded.
Bizning vatanda universitetdan bitgan o'quvchilar bitganlikda jiddiy holatda dam olib ishlab olmaydi. Mamlakatda Xitoyning odatda texnikum bitgan, Jigong maktab bitgan Xitoylar hali yaxshi viloyat darajalik o'rinlarga, nazorat darajalik o'rinlarga tez oladi buni.
This textile factory in the southern town of Kashgar is the largest employer in the area. But a head count of their workers leaving at the end of the day shows that some 70% are Han Chinese in an area which is over 70% Uyghur. But most of the Uyghur population live in the countryside. Farmers complain of worsening poverty due to the demands of the state.
2 yıldan beri halkın mecburi paxta bilen buğdayın turish mecburlab qoldi. Agar 5 milliarddan bir tonna kepez ilish yuqoridan bu uftur tushgan bo'lsa, shu bir tonna kepez alınmagan bo'lsa, u dehqonning o odamning o'yidiki, qo'y, kala, gilam va boshqa pulga yaraydigan narsalarni saqchilar majburiy kelib, qurolliq kelib, shuni bulab chiqib, naqd pul setib, shu iqtisodiy ziyonni to'ldiryapti. Xalqimiz qo'shiq to'ymayotgan xalq nurg'un xalqni qo'shiq to'ymaydi.
The least known and perhaps the most alarming aspect of Chinese rule in Xinjiang has been the effect of testing nuclear weapons in the desert. The Uighurs fear their land has been poisoned. Over 3 decades at Lop Nor, 41 nuclear devices have been detonated, 22 of them in the atmosphere. These photos, smuggled out of a hospital in 1994 to the Uyghur community in exile, show deformities which they claim are caused by radiation. The Chinese government denies there's been contamination of populated areas.
Bizning vatanda Lop Nor janub tarafda yangi tug'ilgan boboqlarning ba'zilarining 5 yo'g'on bo'yni kichik, ba'zilarining bir qo'li cho'ng, bir qo'li kichik. Jumladan elib aytganda mening hadamning tug'ilgan bolaning uylik tug'ilganligini o'tkazam bilan ko'rdi. Bu bolaning bo'yni cho'ng, bosh qismi oldiga chiqqan. Ko'z urulashgan taraf so'ng keyin kirib ketgan.
Government attempts to silence critics have been met with resistance from the streets. Footage previously unseen outside China shows an incident in 1995 when rioting broke out after a religious leader was banned in the town of Khotan. He was preaching a form of Islamic liberation theology. Demonstrators attacked the Communist Party headquarters. 8 months later, a Politburo document marked top secret declared what it called a pitiless struggle against splitists. As part of the crackdown, 105 religious schools and 133 mosques were closed. At schools like this, the authorities probably fear the increasing political awareness of students. The closures were accompanied by mass arrests.
Bizning vatanimizda ish qilib dinni bir narsani obdan tushungan, ish qilib o'qigan bunda bolalarning o'zi asosan Xitoyning qonuniga qarshi chiqilgan. 100 balla o'qigan bo'lsa 95 tutilib ketdi.
In the case of the demonstration in Gulja of February this year, exiles claimed that 1,600 arrests followed. Photographs circulating among Uyghur exiles are set to show the effects of frostbite after the detainees were sprayed with cold water. They were allegedly held in a building for 6 days in freezing conditions. As a result, 50 youths are said to have died. The Chinese authorities deal harshly with political dissenters. Those convicted are often paraded in front of large crowds, and many then face the firing squad. An unknown number of Uyghurs have been executed this year alone. 9 of them, not the group here, are known to have been shot on July the 22nd. A Uyghur now in exile saw the condemned men taken on their last journey on a line of trucks.
And bu adamlarninki hammasininki beshi yerga töven tushib ketgan, ammo mashinada bog'liqlik. Mening anglashimcha bu adamlarninki nurg'uni o'zi yerim jon o'lik holga kelib qolgan adam. Chunki turmada nayt cho'ng qiynaq azaplarni ko'rgan adam deydigan gaplar bor.
Footage smuggled out portrays those killed in public executions as martyrs. In March this year, 2 bus bombs exploded in Beijing, killing 2 and injuring 30. There was reason to believe that Uyghur separatists were taking their battle into the heart of China. The defiance shown in the streets could turn more violent. Channel 4 News has received a statement from a new militant group, the Eastern Turkestan National Liberation Organization, threatening a campaign of international terrorism. President Jiang Zemin has called the instability in Xinjiang the greatest threat to national unity. In the eyes of the Uyghur leaders in exile, however, the threat comes from the Communist Party.
Bizim Çin halkıyla herhangi bir problemimiz yoktur. Bugün benim milletim açsa, susuzsa, okula gidemiyorsa, hapishaneye girenler bir hafta içerisinde deli çıkıyorsa, bunun sorumlusu Çin hükümetidir.
The Uighurs of Xinjiang share their Turkic language and culture with the newly independent Central Asian republics which lie beyond their western borders. It's no coincidence that the growing national awareness among the Muslim peoples of China has come in the years following the disintegration of the old Soviet Empire. While the Chinese security forces attempt to stamp out dissent, all the lessons of recent history suggest Beijing's conflict with the Uyghur political cause is likely to escalate to a level where it can no longer be ignored by the rest of the world.
Gabby Rado reporting. Well, we invited the Chinese ambassador in London to come on the programme to respond to our film, but he declined. However, in a statement tonight, the embassy said the Chinese constitution guarantees people's freedom of religious belief, but also stipulates that no one may make use of religion to engage in activities that disrupt public order. The statement added arbitrary arrests and imprisonment of dissidents and religious figures do not happen in China, and it went on to say Xinjiang province is experiencing all-round development and enjoys political and social stability. And we'll have more